today, and I want us to map a couple of things before we come into lying on our backs. So the first thing I want us to map are our ribs, and acknowledging that we'll do a lot of cues for the front of the ribs, but we'll also be talking about the sides and the back ribs. So when we're going through those rib cues today, we're going to think about 3 different cues. Ribs together, so ribs coming together, ribs moving down towards those hip points, and also ribs moving back towards the back of the body. We're going to work on each of those cues individually using breath, and then we're going to try to put the together, down, and back all together with one cue, which will be to move those ribs towards the center of the body. We can think about the center of the body being below our belly button and very, very deep in those low abdominals. So get onto your back, comfy mat underneath, pillows under head for comfort, and have a little lie down. We're going to start evaluating our pelvic tilts because it's a nice reference point to have before and after the breathing work. So finding those hip points and rocking them towards your ribs and rocking them away from your ribs. So those hip points rock towards your ribs and rock away from your ribs. You can rock away from ribs on an inhale and rock towards ribs on an exhale. Just take a little inventory of how your pelvic tilts are feeling today and what the contact is like between your low back as well as the lower aspect of your thoracic spine into the mat. We'll pause in neutral pelvis. And we're going to start to take an inhale through the nose with mouth closed. And an exhale out the mouth with a little ha sound. So inhaling through the nose. Exhaling through the mouth. Inhaling through the nose. Exhaling through the mouth. The next time you exhale through the nose, I want you to start thinking about pulling those ribs together. So it's an inhale through the nose and an open mouth. Exhale through the mouth, pull those ribs together at the front. Inhale through the nose. Exhale, pull those ribs towards each other at the front of the body. You can think about your exhale as though you're fogging up a mirror. While you're inviting those ribs to narrow at the front. So a couple more. Inhale through the nose. Exhale out the mouth. Inhale through the nose. Exhale. Bring those ribs towards each other. Your next series on the exhale, you're going to think about dropping those ribs down towards the hips. So as you inhale through the nose, you prepare. exhale through the mouth, and those ribs go down towards the hips. Inhale through the nose, and exhale, those ribs go down towards the hips. You keep going with this rhythm, and just making sure that the hips aren't tilting to the ribs. You're not rolling that pelvis back, you're exhaling and using that exhale to get those ribs a little bit closer to the hip points, a little bit closer to the center of your body. One more. And those ribs go down towards the center of your body. All right, last in our single series. As you exhale through that mouth, the ribs are going to go back towards the back of the body. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. Ribs shift to the back of the body. They drop to the floor. Inhale through the nose. Exhale. Ribs shifting to the back of the body. Two more. Exhale, shift those ribs back without altering the position of the pelvis. One more. And exhale without altering the position of the pelvis. All right, we're going to put all three of those together now. That inhale is going to be through the nose with mouth closed. That exhale, as though you're fogging up a mirror, and the ribs will come together, down, and back. And to put it into one cue, those ribs are going to move to the center of the body. So together, down, back, moving towards the center of the pelvis or center of the body without tucking that pelvis. So here we go. Inhale to prepare, and exhale. Move the ribs to the center of the body, together, down, back. Inhale through the nose, and exhale. Move those ribs to the center of the body. Inhale through the nose. Exhale, move those ribs to the center of the body. Two more, just like that. And then we'll come back to those pelvic tilts, find those hip points, and rock them towards your ribs, and rock them away from your ribs. Rocking those hip points towards your ribs, and rocking those hip points away from your ribs. And just notice if your pelvis is rocking with a little more ease. And perhaps if you feel like your breath is a little bit easier, and as though you also have more volume on the sides of the rib cage and the back of the rib cage. So that's our hope, that we have a fullness at the sides and the back of the ribs that perhaps wasn't there before, and that we're pelvic tilting and breathing with more ease. Thank you so much for giving this one a try, and let me know how it goes.